Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are. I just wanted to share some gratitude and also awareness. I'm on a local trail. This is like a paved trail, so it's kind of a quick trail to do when you have a short amount of time. So I was going through different things and decluttering different parts of my home. And sometimes you realize like this value thing that your brain does. And it's like you're out shopping and, it's the holiday season and this is something, in the past. And you're looking at all these cool things because everything's on an end cap display. There's all these point of purchase, making all these things look so important and so precious because it has a beautiful cover, or it just has, you like the tabs or whatever. And when I think about getting a calendar for the new year, I'm mesmerized by all the beautiful calendars that are out there. And I have been I should just be honest with myself and just be like, this one particular calendar that works for you is the one that you should just keep ordering because it works for you. But no, I'm mesmerized by the new colors and the tabs, and I like that this is a spiral that lays flat and whatever. So I buy this calendar, which has all these pretty photos, and I'm thinking, this is going to be so great for my van, and I can do a little journaling in it, and has, big spaces to write. And so I buy this other calendar, and it's pretty. I'm not denying that it's not pretty. It's a beautiful calendar. But here's what happens. I'm not efficient with this particular calendar. Okay? Yes, it has gorgeous photos of nature pictures. Yes, it has cute little lists that you can make about, positive inspiration and what have you. And that's fantastic. The issue is it's not functional. So I start using this calendar and I start putting in my, known dates from my digital calendar onto my paper calendar, because yes, I'm a girl that likes a paper calendar. And I start using this new calendar. And here we are in March, and last night I finally made the switch, but a week ago, okay, I finally realized, I don't like this calendar. It's not functioning for me the way that my previous calendar functioned. And I was like, I just spent $40 on this pretty calendar, and I've already written in it. It's not like I can take it back, right? It's not like it's a blank calendar anymore. And I'm just like, that $40 that I spent, right? But I had to look at my life and say, you know what? That other calendar, the one that I really like, that really is functional for me, I just need to go and order it again. That's it. I'm not going to be happy using this new calendar with these pretty photos, because it doesn't function the way, it doesn't have the right appointment slots to be able to make appointments on my calendar when I'm doing coaching sessions. It doesn't have the space for that. So I'm just not being functional. Now, the bottom line is I ordered the calendar, it came, and now last night I was going through and transferring what I had already implemented into the look good calendar with the photos into the practical calendar, so that I have that record keeping accurately. And what's interesting is when you review what you've completed, what is still incomplete, what you're still carrying over until you get those tasks done, you see a pattern, in just 3 months, less than 3 months, I see a pattern, and I'm like, oh wow, I got so much done in these categories of my life, the letting go, the decluttering, the styling up, the getting my kitchen really on point, eating clean, getting my recipes and my food planning so much better. Like those areas are like way more streamlined because I got rid of so many things, and I'm just like in my flow. But then I look at the other parts, the paperwork, the backed up piles of paperwork, the file boxes from that were in storage that have content material, the things that I meant to record a podcast on, but I haven't done yet. Like all of these things are like, you have like what you're doing well, what you're handling and managing well. And then you have the backlog of what you did not handle well, what you're still not currently handling well. And then therein is where you start to kind of crap on yourself. And you're like, gosh, I'm still really struggling with this. I really don't have a really good handle of all this paper management. I'm still behind, right? And the fact is, this is true. Like, I'm still struggling with this. And it's because of such a backlog, right? And yet, when I look at where I came from my car accident to where I am now, there's such progress, okay? But for someone who does not have the same issues that I have, for someone who does not have the same injuries that I have, for someone who does not have the struggle that I have, they may look at me and my life and where I am specifically with like this one area, the paper management, and they could look at me and be like, you're a total mess. And that is true. And yet at the same time, I'm so much better now than I was before. So what I'm getting at is sometimes the progress to an outsider or to someone that doesn't understand your struggle, they could be really judgy and really judgmental of like what you look like right now, like your snapshot of right now. They may be very like, man, if I were you, I would think that for you should be at a different level. Well, I'm not. Like, there has been little incremental progress, but that's like the remnant of what I'm still working on, okay? Whereas when you look at the other big jumps and leaps that I have, overcome and obstacles, like that's really where I'm shining now. Whereas before, there was no shine at all. It was just total, I couldn't do anything, right? And then when I look at not being able to manage and steward my life to where I am at the level that I am being able to manage and steward my life, it doesn't mean that I have all the balls flowing perfectly. No, what it means is that I am much more in balance now than I was before. And yes, from my car accident until now, it's been over 20 years. And it is still a daily struggle. And there are still things that, with my injuries, make it more difficult for me to manage versus someone who does not have my injuries. And what I'm getting at is, I might not be at the level of exercise that I used to be at before my car accident. That's true. But I am still moving. I still have mobility. I'm still fighting through my injuries and still fighting the fight to get stronger because I have that motivation, determination, and discipline that no matter what, I want my body to be functioning, even if it's not at this high level, like advanced mastership level that I used to be at. And yet I'm grateful that I still have mobility. I'm grateful that I can still walk in the clips of time that I can walk in. And I want to keep building on that, right? And then when I take that situation with my exercise and my mobility, and I look at the problem of paper management, the problem of being an entrepreneur for so many years and having all this content creation ideas, etc., that were basically boxed up, put on hold as a result of the accident. And then slowly, over time, I'm taking one little portion at a time and going, okay, what can I do with this portion? And is this something that I want to still bring forth into my future? Is this content going to help other people? If it is, great. Then I need to figure out how I'm going to, whether I'm going to write a book or write another program or what have you, or if I'm just going to let it go. And this is where, when you have so many, when your history and your experience has so much variety and content, sometimes it's hard then to make the decisions about, well, what should I hold on to and keep because it is still relevant, and what things should I just completely throw away or shred and just move on from. Now, I'll give you a simple example to illustrate my point, because sometimes the decisions can be very simple and other times it's more challenging. So I'm going to give you a simple first. So I had this project that I had done. It was around the holidays, and it was making these sparkle electric switch plates so that I could get like family members and kids involved, and it was like a project that we could kind of all do together. And then it was like the idea of like bringing a little sparkle and fun into your life and choosing a switch plate, like maybe one to your bedroom or bathroom or whatever, that you, when you see that sparkle switch plate, you'd think about putting the sparkle on in your life, right? And so I bought all the supplies, the different size switch plates, and all the materials, and kind of it had like a little party get together, and we all did that together. And then I had like a surplus, and so people took whatever ones they wanted, and then I still had leftovers, and I sold those items, and with the proceeds I gave that to charity. And it was like something that I did. I enjoyed doing it, but then those supplies sat in a box, and that box sat in like prime real estate space within like a wardrobe or whatever. And every time I opened up that wardrobe and I saw that box of all those supplies of, like, I haven't done anything with this, I haven't picked up this project again, there would be this slight sense of, and you're not good enough, you don't, you didn't finish this thing. And I didn't really notice it at the time because you're not always like cognizant of it, but it was like, I'm noticing like, wow, every time I open up that wardrobe and I see those supplies, I'm thinking I really need to finish that. I really need to, take the rest of the supplies and make out what I have with the supplies and then have them ready for sale. But I didn't. And so every time I kept opening up this cabinet, and then recently I was working on, I took on a new endeavor, and I have been painting with my best friend, and it's like a paint by numbers thing, and we've been gathering one to two times a week, and we get together and we paint and we listen to music and we talk, and it's just so wonderful. It's like such a great reset. It's such a great brain-body connection. It's calming. It brings both of us a sense of peace, and we really enjoy it. But all the supplies for like all the art stuff was in the same wardrobe. And finally I was like, after we painted and I was putting the supplies away, I was like, you know what? I'm going to take all the supplies out of this cabinet and I'm going to make a decision on these things that are all art related. And, and then I realized again, that box of, the switch plates, and I still like took it out, assessed what I had, kind of made an inventory list, But then I put all the stuff back in the cabinet because guess what? It fit in the cabinet. And then as I'm talking about this out loud now, walking on a trail, I'm realizing, wow, because it fit in the cabinet, I put it back in the cabinet. And I know I'm not going to do anything with those sparkle supplies. So I should just put that in the charity bag, the giveaway bag, and just get rid of it. But this is what we do. And what I'm saying is, it's just such a small example of how if we have the space in a drawer, in a cabinet, whatever, we tend to hold on to things because it fits there. And it's not, we think it's minimal, like we think it's like not a big deal. We're just like, oh, well, I mean, it fits, so it's not hurting anything, right? But the reality is every time we open up that wardrobe or that drawer, or that cabinet, and we see that unfinished project, it's like this little nagging thing that's going on at your brain, and it's going, hey, you didn't do that. You didn't finish it. When are you going to do it? And the reality is, it's not just that I have that one sparkle project that is nagging for my attention. There are many things like that in my home, and I'm sure in your home too, that they're moments of indecision. They're moments of delayed decision. They're moments of, oh, I'm in a hurry. I can't really deal with that right now. So you just shove it back in the drawer. You shove it back in the cabinet. You shove it back in the wardrobe. And because it's out of sight and out of mind, you're not thinking about it because your environment looks peaceful. But when you open up the doors to that cabinet and you're actually reaching for something that you're actually using, like I'm using the paint supplies, and then I see that sparkle switch plate project that I'm not doing, that's where the nagging comes in. So my encouragement to you is to become aware of the unfinished projects, the delayed decisions that you have come to make as okay for you. And my encouragement to you is to head on, approach those things that you have been delaying and make a decision. And when I go home, I'm going to take out those sparkle plates. I'm going to put that into the charity bag and I'll be done with it. And then I don't have to think about it anymore. I can literally cross that project off my list because I'm freeing myself that I'm not going to do that thing anymore. Now, I'm hoping that by doing that, by crossing out that thing that I really don't want to give my time to, that I will free up the space and the time to actually work on the paper management project. Do you get what I'm saying? So by giving up something that I really don't want to do, then I free up space to do the thing that I really do want to do and manage and take care of. And then as we keep moving in that process, then we only have so much time per day to, manage our time and our resources. And if we can make decisions about, hey, this really is not serving me anymore. I really don't have an interest to follow through on this. Let me just take it off my agenda. Let me just take it off my calendar. Let me take it off my master to-do list. Let me just stop doing this thing that I know that I'm not going to do. And then give myself that space and time and energy to put towards what I really want to do, what I really do want to master, so that I really can improve my body and brain connection, and that I really can make advancement in those areas that I'm really drawn to put my energy to. And then, again, over time, I can then see that by making those decisions and those choices around saying, no, this is a boundary, this is not coming in my realm anymore, that's it, this is a no, this is a stop, then I have, by saying no and putting a boundary up, to things that are stealing my energy, whether I'm aware of it or not, I can then put my energy towards the things that do bring me joy, like my private time with God, my, reading and studying, art, the art and painting, the creating content that is helpful to people. So I hope that this helps you to navigate some of the decisions that maybe you're on the fence about, some of the decluttering things that maybe are still looming over you because you keep looking at the price tag. I paid $40 for that calendar, I might as well use it. Well, that $40 calendar might have been pretty, and it still is, but it wasn't functional for me living my life. And the one that was true and blue, it might not look as pretty, but it sure is functional. And I did order it, and I did set that new calendar up. And I'm excited because my life is functioning again with the calendar that works for me. So I encourage you to say no and put stops to things that are no longer serving you, and to be able to create new patterns of behavior that encourage you to stay focused to your high goals, and that things that you really want to do that are serving you, making you more functional, and that are allowing you to be able to expand to help other people because you are more functional. And sometimes that means that the things that are really pretty maybe aren't so functional. And the things that are kind of boring and functional maybe are really the thing that you need, so that you do continue to have that structure and that consistency and that format that allows you to go, yeah, I know how this calendar works and it really works for me. And I can see, my to-do lists, my appointments, and my scattered ideas, and I can organize them in this particular calendar so much better than the foofy, a high picture calendar that looks good but isn't very functional. So I leave you with that. Have a beautiful day.